Well, I guess there's no law that says you have to be educated to be immortal. Hey, it's Em, here to talk about the Devil's Road episode of the Vampire Lestat, in which things really do seem to just go off the rails in a lot of different directions. So we'll take it like one character at a time, I guess, with Lestat front and center, as per usual. He and the band are back on the bus. Lestat uses his compelling charm to navigate a state trooper who wants to bust them for their cocaine habit. Lestat spends most of the episode upset that his mother is not returning his calls. We get a lot more flashbacks of him and Gabrielle. So in the book, The Devil's Road is the term that Gabrielle and Lestat give their journey from Paris to Cairo looking for Marius. And we get a lot of mentions of Marius in this episode without it being anchored really to anything. I don't know what the point of that is, honestly. Is it supposed to make people not in the know wonder about Marius and why they keep talking about someone named Marius? Yeah, unclear. We get, I guess, the moment that Lestat and his mom kind of step over the line from mother and son and then like father and daughter. They've got like a weird relationship, which we already knew, but we get that. I don't know that it was anything we needed, and I don't know why they've decided to take this step with the characters when it's not in the book. I don't know if they're looking for the shock value, the Game of Thrones angle or what, but okay. I don't understand why they're doing a lot of what they're doing as far as like Gabriella, Sophia, whatever you want to call her. Lestat is seeing ghosts again, some more. Nikki on the bus. Some of the background characters from this episode, people he and his mom met in like a tavern, are popping up on the bus in his kind of peripheral vision. So, yeah, we're getting Lestat kind of in a downward spiral. We also get an attempt on his life. We get like a crazed fan or anti-fan, depending, shooting him outside the concert venue during his like meet and greet post-show. I think Christine gets shot. Potentially other members of the band are also injured. Unclear, although we do at one point find Lestat on the bus alone. None of the band is there. So again, because this is jumping around a lot with the Failures albums and everything, we're putting together a puzzle here, I guess. Him wanting to like quit the band, he's already bored with it kind of thing. I think because in this version he does not have the instant success that the books give him. Because in the books, he's kind of a Gary Stu. Anything he does is wonderful and amazing, and everybody loves it immediately. I think maybe having it, like, very concretely shown that he's only middling as far as a musician and gathering fans goes is probably bad for his ego, his very fragile ego. And so he wants to quit. Because then, you can pretend like you were a star and not see every night that you're only kind of a star, I guess. But what they keep talking about in this episode is the Great Conversion, which is something that Gabriella sort of pushes as an idea on Lestat way back when they were first traveling together as vampires. This idea that they will rule the world, I guess, and cull the humans. Now, anybody with any education would understand the economy of resources, wherein not enough humans, and too many vampires means not enough food for them. Not that they all need to eat consistently, and you can drink from animals, I guess, but it's interesting because it kind of parallels the conspiracy theory of that replacement conspiracy theory that some right-wingers have. So the guy who shot Lestat, or attempted to, I guess he actually shot him, he just didn't do anything. He knows, or he feels like he knows, he's one of these conspiracy theorists, except we know from discussions between Lestat and his mom that this is an actual, plan that at least some vampires have, I guess. To what end is bizarre. So, in Queen of the Damned, we know that Akasha's big plan is, first of all, to cull the vampires down to just the ones that are loyal to her and useful to her, so there aren't too many of them, but then also to rule the world as sort of gods and goddesses. So also to cull the humans down into, I guess, a manageable amount. Maybe that's where this great conversion storyline is headed. Right now, it seems like Gabriella's the villain as opposed to Akasha, so I don't know if we've decided to move the mantle from one character to another, and Akasha's going to be more sympathetic, or is Akasha just going to make it worse, or who knows? I guess we'll see. Meanwhile, Louis continues to go to this, Brick and Bacon? Is that what it's called? This cafe where Regina, who looks exactly like Claudia, same actress, by the way, from season 2, is a waitress. Louis has figured out that she has a checkered past of kind of small-time con artistry stuff, and he wants to help her, and she has also figured out that he sees her as a Claudia substitute, and she basically negotiates $500,000 from him if he wants her to play Claudia. It's very bizarre. We've got a lot of father, daughter, mother, son, weird family dynamic shit going on. And yeah, that's a choice, a thing. Again, not something that happens in any of the books. I don't know what the point of this is either. And then we have Armand and Daniel, who, again, is this a dad and son relationship? I mean, Daniel keeps calling Armand dad, but in a harsh way, in an almost mocking way. Armand is going around reading people, he's doing the 12 steps, although what his addiction is unclear. So he tries to read his 12 steps to Daniel. Daniel doesn't want to hear it. He goes and reads some of it to Lestat. Lestat obviously gives him a hard time. And Lestat then mocks Armand on stage by writing a song called Big Boss or something. Alex, who has returned to the band, puts 2 and 2 together when he sees Armand in the crowd, and Lestat points him out as Armand as opposed to Amun. Because Alex has told his bandmates, I've got this great sponsor, he's almost godlike, but he won't tell anybody who his sponsor is. But then he sees Armand in the crowd, and Lestat saying, well, this is the vampire Armand. So Alex is like, oh. We witness this weird connection between Daniel and Armand. The Daniel bowling, and then suddenly everybody in the bowling alley kind of disappears, and Armand appears in this void. And Armand admits that he also has this weird kind of connection, that these connections are different between every fledgling and maker, I guess, depending on who knows what. I guess there's some kind of genetic element, or sometimes it has to do with how powerful the maker is or isn't, and any number of, I suppose, variables go into the bizarre bonds. In the books, it's pretty consistent that the fledgling and the maker cannot hear each other's thoughts. The fledgling can inherit a certain amount of power from the maker, so the more powerful the maker, the more powerful the fledgling. but here it seems to be some kind of genetic mystery, or however it works, I guess. However, I guess your blood and somebody else's blood mingles, produces some bizarre quirk of whatever kind of vampire you are or going to be, and the kind of bond you're going to have with your maker. So Lestat has upped his asshole level. He's leveled up in assholery, I guess. He admits, he's in his peak brat phase at this point. Love the weird little, braided pigtails he was rocking there. It's kind of like some humans seem to be onto them. Some humans know and or believe the vampires are real. Some are taking it at face value as a gimmick. Oh, you're a goth kid, you're a vampire kid. I don't know, something like that. At some point, all of this will come together in some way, one assumes, and that this whole, great conversion thing will happen or be defeated, maybe. It's so many little, fragments, and we've gone past entertaining or even, I don't know, interesting into just WTF territory, where it's just what even are you doing anymore? Any of you. I'll keep watching out of morbid curiosity at this point, more than anything. I have very, very mixed feelings that we're going to fall off a cliff here pretty soon. If you're watching, let me know your thoughts. If you've read the books and you're watching, what do you think of these changes? Armand, in his speech to Lestat, his letter, he mentions their background with the theater, the Children of Darkness, and Lestat mentions, oh yeah, when you forced me by kidnapping my love, and Nikki's ghost, of course, is I was not your first love, I'm not your best love, or something. I guess Lestat still feels guilty about Nikki to some degree. And Nikki in the books, Nikki having died angry with Lestat, there's no closure really, right? So maybe that's why he's imagining Nikki and all the mean things Nikki would say, because at the end, Nikki was incredibly hostile. And I don't know if that's what we're pointing to. Although we saw Nikki's end in this version of the story, and it was just ranting. It wasn't even cohesive hostility, right? It was just him kind of losing it. So I'm not entirely sure about Ghost Nikki's hostility, unless it's just Lestat using Nikki as his own voice, right? So Lestat's self-loathing expressed through Nikki's ghost, potentially. I guess that could be it. What's the point of bathing or showering in blood anyway? It's not cleansing. I would think it was just sticky, honestly. And then he rinses off, but not completely. I was like, dude, you need to finish rinsing before you put your clothes on. I don't shower in chicken soup, you know what I mean? I don't shower in things I eat. That would be weird. Why would I do that? So I don't understand the point of that. That doesn't make, there's no logical sense to that. Somebody explain it to me if you know why they shower in blood. If showering is meant to get you clean, pretty sure this doesn't do it. And if you're just going to rinse off anyway, why not just start and end with water? No? Okay. That's a minute thing, but it really bothered me. Sorry. Again, I am rambling, but yeah, I can't quite put my finger on all the things, because it's just, there's so many different moving pieces here. And it's fractured in a way that suggests just insanity, honestly. Again, I think Lestat's on this downward spiral, and we're getting his unraveling in some degree. I'm gone. I leave tomorrow morning, so I'm gone for about a week. And then I'll be back for a few days, and then I'm gone again. So I will try to make more videos. Maybe I'll put some shorts from the traveling I'm doing, but I'm just old enough not to have my first thought be, oh, I should record this, because I'm just kind of enjoying myself. I'm not out there thinking, oh, this is content. I'm out there thinking, oh, I'm having a good time and this is my life. So if I think about it, I will record some of it and post it. I did finish reading Spook Street, and I'll do a video about that book at some point, maybe in that break between one trip and another. I am reading Bury Your Gaze now. This is the first Chuck Tingle I've ever read, and so far it's pretty entertaining. I'll give it that. If I finish that before I make Spook Street, then I'll do both in one video, and you can get a twofer like the last one. Until next time. Until next time. Take care.